Hey, Creaturey! How long have we been waiting for that stupid door to open? I don't know, 2 months or so? I mean, we started waiting in December and it's February now.
Well, little urchins. It's finally time to see which door the audience chose. Your fate is... AsciiDots.
Well, at least it's not Entertopy.
What? Ignore the typo. It's supposed to be entropy. Now enter the door, puny mortals.
What if I don't? Then I assume we don't get out of this stupid place.
Correct, puny monster. Now enter the door, stupid.
Ouch! Walk through a door and end up falling into a room. Hey, where's AsciiDots and Creaturey?
So, Crocodile, now it's your turn.
It's still Caiman, not Crocodile.
You must escape this room. And don't try cheating. I'll be watching the whole time.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to EsoLabyrinth. This is the second video in a series. And while I'm not going to make you watch the first one because I can't really make you do anything through my computer, I would recommend that you watch the first one to get up to speed. Or you can decide not to watch the first one and just keep watching this one, I don't really care. In this episode's game, Carl is locked in a room with a door, a table, and a lamp. He also has the can of infinite tomato soup that he got in the previous episode. Remember what I said about watching the first one so you can get up to speed. In order to guide Carl to escaping the room, the player is presented with options in a choose-your-own-adventure style format. And this game will be programmed in AsciiDots. AsciiDots, for those of you who do not know, is an esoteric programming language that resembles ASCII art. It has two-dimensional program flow, meaning that the code pointers, represented by units called dots, can move in any direction they choose. As always with the EsoLabyrinth videos, and by that I mean all 1 1/4 of them that exist so far, I would recommend looking up the basics of the programming language I'm talking about before watching this video to get up to speed. Especially because I will not be going over the AsciiDots basics in this video, since I do not want this video to be 25 minutes long. I made a video about AsciiDots about a year ago, so if you want to watch that, watch that. But if you hate the way I talk and want to learn about AsciiDots from someone else, 0, I don't blame you, and 1, you can learn about it from the AsciiDots GitHub page in the description below. It will also probably be in a card in the upper right. But anyway, without any further ado, let's jump into the game! Hooray! That was cheesy as heck. So, one feature that I used a lot in this game, and by that I mean a lot, is the warp. A warp in AsciiDots does exactly what you would expect it to. When the dot reaches the letter that corresponds to the warp, the dot jumps backward or forward to the next instance of the same letter. Warps that the program uses are defined at the very top of the program's file.
Why are the warps defined there? Why doesn't AsciiDots just assume that letters are warps? That's inefficient! Fix it now!
Those definitions are necessary, you big doofus! AsciiDots also supports libraries, which are not used in this game, and they are brought in a very similar way. Defining a warp as a warp allows AsciiDots to know that that letter is a warp and not a library command. Now, warps in AsciiDots do have some, let's just say, absurd behavior. For example, if you warp to the lowercase letter a, and there just happens to be the letter a in a nearby text string, AsciiDots will just jump to the other letter a it sees, even if it's in the middle of a string. And if there's more warps inside of that string, AsciiDots has the potential to get stuck in an infinite loop inside of a string. Hooray for that! So, to keep things simple and preserve my sanity, I will be using lowercase letters for warps and uppercase letters for in-game text. And yes, I'm aware that doing that leads to the game looking like it's screaming at the player, but it just has to be done. I also tried to avoid using a warp more than once, so AsciiDots will know exactly where to go at a warp without any ambiguity. So without further ado, I'm just gonna show you the game's full code. Oh gosh, that's long! Judging by the amount of video left, you're probably going to explain how it works, so how do you expect to explain how it works in one short video? Well, the game itself is actually pretty much the same basic module repeated over and over again. Let's look at an example. So, at the start of the game, it prints a couple of lines telling the player what Carl's current situation is. When the game starts, it describes the room. The game then asks what Carl wants to do. backwards, because the dot is moving from right to left at this point, so the text must be written backwards, so it gets printed out as forwards. Up next, the program asks for the player to input a number. Assuming they're not literally Satan and mess this simple task up out of the "LOL, I broke it" attitude, the dot should hold the value of 0, 1, or 2. And if you put in something that's not 0, 1, or 2, you are a bad person. I already called you Satan if you do that, but I thought it needed repeating. Actually, if you do that, you're worse than Satan. You're the guy that got Satan removed from Twitter. The dot is then duplicated and enters into one of these comparison nodes. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it because it made the script unfollowable, but if the input is equal to 0, the dot jumps to a warp. In this case, it jumps to the A warp. A very similar, and by that I mean almost exact same comparison, is made for if the player typed a 1 or a 2. The only differences are the number to be compared to and the warp to jump to. The base logic is the same though. And that is a basic module of the Choose Your Own Adventure game. If the player, say, chose 1 for their option, they would jump to Warp C, and would you look at that, it's the same exact module. The only difference is the words and what the warps end up going to. Well, hold on! What's the deal with that long path on the left-hand side that connects all the modules? On many story modules, there is a go back option. Since warps are wildly inconsistent with dealing with more than 2 of them, Go Back does not use a warp and instead connects to all the modules manually. Because when I tried using warps, it was just a mess. Other than Go Back though, none of the options go to previous modules, so that simplifies things a little bit.
So let me try this game. It better be way superior to the stupid game from the brain video. This game is dumb! There's no action or pictures, only words! Unplayable!
Hey, does the term text-based go completely over your thick skull?
Ugh, texting! One of the worst things that technology has brought to the world! I just hate it! The hunter-gatherer days were better!
You're literally the boss of a software company. What the heck are you saying?
Are you questioning my life decisions? Who gives you the authority to do that?
Well, I never thought I'd say this, but obfuscate, the floor is yours. This stupid cave dragon is just too annoying.
Hey viewers, the dots are in the upper left, the animated Carl segment of what the game is doing is to the right of it, and the game itself's output is at the bottom of the screen. Of course, using your eyes you'd probably already know that, but I just thought I'd say it anyway. I don't know, maybe there are people watching this video as background noise and want to know. Be careful, crocodile! I'm watching you, and if you mess up in any way, you get the stomp!
Carl is in a locked room. He is carrying a can of infinite tomato soup. There is a lamp, a door, and a table. The ceiling is open, and Obfuscate is peering in. What will Carl do?
I'm gonna check the lamp.
Carl checks the lamp. Its bulb is bright and feels hot to touch.
I'm gonna try turning it off. That was my favorite lamp, disrespectful loser! So, that's how it's gonna be. It's a good thing I have a Revive Carl button. That's nice and convenient. Okay. This time, I'm checking the door.
Carl checks the door. The door has a lock on it.
Obfuscate will hate it if I inspect the lock. Or if I try to leave without unlocking it. Guess I'll just go back. So, what does the table have going for it?
On the table, there is a key. Under the table, there is a large metal bowl.
Ooh, a key! You're not getting out that easily, mortal! So, I wonder what the deal with the bowl is. I mean, it's sort of a giant, out-of-place detail. It better be something worthwhile.
Carl looks at the bowl. It's able to hold 10 servings of Carl's soup.
Guess I'll try making Obfuscate some soup. Maybe he'll let me out if I do that. How long will I cook it for? Maybe if I cook it for an insanely long amount of time, he will burn his tongue and run away to cool it down. What?
15 hours? At least you guys don't have to see it because there'll be a time card. I hope the portions aren't too small, Tiny. Yum, 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 yum. Ah! Too hot! Too hot! Wow, that worked.
Carl, you made it out!
Yeah, I already knew that. So, Crocodile, you made it out of my trap room. But there's still more doors, you non-abhorrent weaklings! So, Little Lizard has done a challenge, and Crocodile has done a challenge. Caiman!
Oh no, does that mean... Don't worry, big guy, you'll do fine! Forte. No vote this time. And I guess that means I get Enter Toppy. That's cool, I guess.